It's getting out of hand, Israel. It's just too much fighting amongst our people.
Too much fighting. Yes, it is.
We gotta come together.
Come together.
We gotta stick together.
Stick together.
And be that nation that the Most High called us to be. Yeah.
Things are getting out of hand. So much going on.
You're watching the Emergency Tribulation Info War, a YouTube.com channel.
As Jesus Christ in the earth, and it was prophesied years before he was put up to be idolized as a god. And that's a simple way of having you worship men as God, like Caesar's, and I'm going into it. His name is Caesar Borgia, Caesar Borgia. How do you worship him? How do you worship him as a god? First of all, you will put up a Caucasian image as Christ, not just any Caucasian image, a wicked and evil guy named Caesar Borgia, Caesar. And then you would teach all types of superstition when it comes to this guy with idolatry and idols, which is spiritual fornication. And then you will teach in the doctrine that Christ is God. And by teaching Christ is God, by default, Caesar Borgia have become your God. That's what they've done. And that's why they took this out, because it identified them doing just that. And Wisdom of Solomon, how they put up this guy to be Christ, and then they make him a God by saying Christ is God. Start at 14 and 8, read it. Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 8, out of the Apocrypha.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 8. But that which is made with hands is cursed, as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called the Most High.
See that? But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called God. How do we know this is talking about Caesar Borgia, or the idolatry of putting anyone on your wall to worship? But it's actually talking about Caesar Borgia, that picture. At one time, growing up, I couldn't go into one house in my neighborhood that didn't have a picture of Martin Luther King, JFK, and Caesar Borgia in the middle. I'm not even going to call him Jesus Christ. That was a normal mainstay in the ghetto. Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 8. But that which is made with hands is cursed, as well it, as he that made it. He, because he made it, and it, because being corruptible, it was called the Most High.
Go ahead.
For the ungodly and his ungodliness are both alike, hateful unto the Most High.
So the Most High hate what they did. What did they do? Read.
Verse 10. For that which is made shall be punished together with him that made it.
So whoever put up these images of Caesar will be punished. Will be punished by the Creator. And if you have these images, if someone happened on this video and have these images in your house, you need to do what Abraham did. Went into his father Terah's house and took every idol out and threw it away. Okay, even crosses. If you got a cross around your neck, you need to go take it and get the money for it. Okay, all this idolatry is telling you right here. Read.
Verse 11. Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles there shall be a visitation.
Because if you have an idol, there will be a visitation amongst you. Christ is not with you. The Holy Spirit is not with you. Read.
Because in the creature of the Most High they are become an abomination, and stumbling blocks to the souls of men, and snares to the feet of the unwise.
Because it has become an abomination to men, and a snare to the people. A snare is a trap. You're spiritually trapping souls and making these souls go into a different direction, following Satan himself. Read.
Verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
Read that again.
For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
That's spiritual fornication. Spiritual fornication is dealing with a different God. other than the God of Israel. Read.
And the invention of them the corruption of life. For neither were they from the beginning, neither shall they be forever. For by the vainglory of men they enter into the world, and therefore shall they come shortly to an end. For a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he hath made an image of his child soon taken away.
When he hath made an image of his child soon taken away, read.
Now honored him as a God.
Now honored him as a God. That was Rodrigo Borgia, whose son was honored in the New World as God or Jesus Christ. Read.
Now honored him as a God, which was then a dead man.
He was nothing more than a dead man. How can you reverence this guy as Jesus Christ? Read.
And delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices.
So not only did they lie when it comes to his image, wicked ceremonies, Babylonian ceremonies and sacrifices, even children's sacrifices, became part of the rituals of worship when worshiping the Most High. They made a brand new religion with ceremonies and sacrifices. And those are things you see in the Catholic Church. When you see the wizards running around with smoke and see it moving like this, back and forth around. Those are old Babylonian rituals. Idols all over the place. You got dead people in the church, lighting candles to dead people that are buried in the church when the Most High says you are not supposed to have the dead with the living. All these things totally against the Most High. They made it okay to worship Satan outright.
Verse 16. Thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grew strong, was kept as a law.
So now this ungodly custom is now being law now. Oh, let's celebrate Christmas. That's Christ's birthday. No, it's not. Let's celebrate Easter. That's when Christ rose from the grave. No, it's not. It's just being kept as law through time. Read.
Verse 16. Thus in the process of time, an ungodly custom grown strong was kept as a law, and graven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
And graven images was worshipped by the commandments of kings. So they made it a law that you must worship this religion or die. Who did this? The Roman Catholic Church, when they went into the Americas with the Jesuits and the conquerors and destroyed the people and made them convert to Catholicism. And made them do this. Read.
Verse 17. Whom men could not honor in presence, because they dwelt afar off. They took the counterfeit of his visage.
What is a counterfeit? If someone gave you a counterfeit dollar, can you spend it? Can you spend it? It says the counterfeit of his visage. That means they put up a fake. Visage is face. A counterfeit face. Read.
They took the counterfeit of his visage from afar.
From afar, that fake image that they took from Europe. Read.
And made an express image of a king whom they honored. To the end, by this was their forwardness, they might flatter him that was absent, as if he were present.
So they did this to flatter the king. Say, listen, I know some people that are over there in the new land, and I'm going to have them worship your son as a god. And the king and queen would give them money to do this. They would break the people with diseases, break them with smallpox and all those things, kill them through warfare, give them alcohol and drugs and all that, and then take the young and teach them about this wicked son to honor the king. That's the true understanding of Cesar Borgia, or the white European image that's being promoted in the earth. You look over there in South America in Rio, and you got a big statue, a big idol of him standing up. As far as the eye can see, in every location, you see this idol, which they want to name as one of the wonders of the world now. One of the great wonders of the world, Caesar. They honor him as a god. When Christ comes back, he's going to be pretty angry. He's going to be quite mad. Because I know some people that get upset if you lie on them just for 10 minutes. Imagine the lie for over almost 2,000 years. Finish reading.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Also, the singular diligence of the artificer did help to set forward the ignorance of more superstition.
So the artificer, which was Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo, the artists, brung this wicked deed to life. They gave it life. They were such great artists that people believed in this superstition based on how it was portrayed through art. They hired the best artists. Today, they hired the best filmmakers. Back then, they didn't have filmmakers. But the artists were the stories. They told the stories through picture. Now they use Cecil DeMille, Moses, Charleston Heston, then Mel Gibson, The Passion of the Christ. So they use the greatest artists to bring forth the superstition. Go ahead.
Verse 19. For he, peradventure, willing to please one in authority, forced all his skill to make the resemblance of the best fashion.
So these artists were challenging to make the best pictures that could persuade the people psychologically. Go ahead.
Verse 20. And so, the multitude allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god.
They took this guy now for a god. Jesus is God. And then you look up and it's his picture up there as Jesus. What are you telling the children? By teaching them Jesus is God, and when they look up, they see that God. That means, and you know what? They never lose that image as a kid. So when they go to work, they go God, they go Jesus. They have an authority complex. They actually lose some of them themselves because they're not taught that they are the people. So everyone they see are above them. You don't see anything wrong with that? Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 20.
Go ahead.
And so, the multitude allured by the grace of the work, took him now for a god, which a little before was but honored as a man.
He was only a man at one point. Read.
Verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world.
And this was used to deceive the whole world. This was used to deceive the entire world. So you wonder when people used to come up at the speaking, the first thing we would pull out that image. People talk about, well, what about salvation? Bringing forth that image is salvation because it's getting you away from what will lead you to damnation. So we must first identify the lie. Then we can go into the different teachings. Because with the image, it's going to show you, came a doctrine. With the image came a doctrine. Now, if they was teaching truth, then okay. Then you could say, well, they just make the image strictly for Europeans because Europeans wanted some people, even though that's off too. But they taught lies with the image. It's going to show you that. Read.
Verse 21. And this was an occasion to deceive the world, for men served in either calamity or tyranny, did ascribe unto stones and stocks an incommunicable name.
So with stones and stocks, they ascribe an incommunicable name. They gave people a name in which you couldn't communicate with the Most High. That came with the image. With the image came an incommunicable, it says an incommunicable name.
You're watching the Emergency Tribulation Info War, a YouTube.com channel.